Hello YouTube and welcome back. It's me, Fruit Guru. I hope you're all taking care of yourselves, and as always, I hope you're enjoying the grind in Ragnarok Labyrinth. And today we're doing another episode of our counting cards series, and I've got something a little bit different for you this time. Originally, I think I'd actually kind of planned on covering all the really flashy 5-star cards, the chase cards that everybody wanted, and I'd kind of taken this approach because I figured it was going to kind of get more views, more people would be interested in it. But really, I think there's a lot of kind of hidden gems in this game, and I think it's more, everybody knows that Ifrit's a good card, you know, or Ifrit, sorry, caught myself there. It's a really good card and whatnot, and it's pretty obvious in a lot of cases what is. But sometimes there's cards that, you know, you might get, and you might actually get pretty nice rolls in them, but you'll kind of trash them off as crap because, you know, you won't really know what the hidden value is. And I think that's more important to cover this early on in the game. So today we're actually covering a 1-star card. Yes, that's right, a 1-star card. Exciting, I know. And it is the Condor card, and I'm going to bring it up here. So, let's see. The cons are pretty evident. It is a 1-star card, so it only has a couple of mods. The top mod, magic defense, flat rate increase, not terribly exciting. Also, not a huge amount of room for stat growth, but this is because it is a 1-star card. But it's actually the second line that makes this card so unique and special, and something to keep an eye out for when you're looking at your rolls on these things. This is the only card currently in the game that gives a percentage modifier to your flee rate, which makes it very, very nice. If you've got a good one like this, absolutely hold on to it. Don't dust it. I don't know right now if there's a huge demand for these, but put it this way, I did get asked if I had one of these to sell to someone cheap. I was going to give it away basically for free. However, the person in question didn't want to pay the 500 row points when they figured that was what they were going to have to do. And really, I'm kind of glad that they didn't. And I'll talk about the flee now a little bit more. So, there's a lot of builds in this game that go heavy into agility. I think most builds actually endgame have a whopping amount of agility on them. And you're obviously going to get from this your main kind of source of damage mitigation, which is actually going to be your flee rate. And I've noticed, even leveling my clown, that sometimes I'd switch over to agility builds midway to get past some content. And yeah, I dodge everything, and it's a really, really nice mechanic. However, there is kind of the problem where if you go too heavy into flee, you're not going to get a lot of value from it in a lot of the PvE content, because, you know, a huge amount of the game is basically just farming lower mobs. When you are pushing content, you know, you have access to the share vice, and if you've been leveling it up, you know, you can bring in some really strong people who can help carry you. And yeah, I mean, it doesn't look like it's that needed. However, where I think this stat is really, really going to shine, and this might be quite obvious to some of you, but I'm only learning this as I go along, is in PvP. And I managed to hit rank 8 on the server recently. Now, I'm not there anymore. I have fallen to the depths of hell because, like I said, I'm learning and I make mistakes, and I'm only kind of getting to grips with how things work out. But one thing I was able to pick up in my short stay in the top 10 was how basically PvP at that level works out. And let me tell you, it's pretty fast, the matches. Everybody has kind of these like 5-star teams, if not full 5 stars, 3 minimum, I guess. And the matches, I don't think I've had a match recently that has gone on longer than 2 seconds. Before I kind of got to this level, I'd have like these kind of slugfest matches where, you know, you'd be going ba 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 ba, and it was kind of who's going to win? Am I going to get this? Are they going to get this? But the reality is now that it's just basically a coin flip, and by the time the coin lands, one side's units are all dead and the other side pretty much has all of them up. And yeah, I mean, it's pretty brutal. So I don't particularly like that. I don't like my wins being decided by a coin toss. So I've been kind of trying to figure out how can I actually give myself a little bit of an edge. And the first thing that I've kind of found is, and this is more to do with my class, is the clown. I had to turn all my skills off except for my big silence AoE. And I found out pretty early that if I was able to get this silence AoE out, the other team couldn't cast, and it would give my team a nice window to go in and absolutely destroy them, and that's been pretty reliable. However, if I get clipped by the nuke and I get insta-gibbed, there's not much I can do. I can't do anything from the grave. So yeah, I was thinking, right, mitigation. And I considered going into defense, I considered going into magic defense, but the reality is it's very hard to actually go very, very deep into both of these without gimping your build in other ways. And obviously you can't choose who you fight, so you know, if you're going to get a team with a little bit of a mixture, so you can't just go really hard into one on the ladder. So that kind of just left the flea stat, and I think this is where this card is going to really, really shine. And that is because it doesn't matter what kind of damage people do, be it physical, magic, poison, burning, anything, if you dodge all the hits. It just kind of makes sense, right? And then my next question was, well, if I was to go hard on these cards, and I'm able to dodge my hit, and I'm able to get my silence off reliably every game, what do I have to give up? And we're going to take a look at that now. So for the sake of this video, I guess this is more kind of aimed at a PvP perspective from now on, because I think it's pretty evident when you have a look at these cards that a lot of these are going to be kind of, for the majority of PvE content, they're going to be more beneficial depending on your build. But you can see here, I mean, we have Infinite Moonlight Rider, which gives CDR or cooldown reduction. This is massive for my build, especially when boss killing. It's really, really important. So would I want to go hard into Flea and replace this if I had it? Probably not. Salamander card. I know a lot of you fire wizards out there, you know, you're gagging for this, you use this. Are you going to want to replace this with a Flea card? Probably not. A couple of others here as well, which I'm sure you're all familiar with. Lady Tanny, I really want to cover this card soon. It's just an absolute beast of a thing. Sustain, similar to Drain Layer levels, and cooldown reduction. I need this. If anybody wants to sell this to me, please, yeah, I want to buy it. Let me know your price. But all of these, they seem so much better. But if you go back to what I was saying with how the PvP matches currently at the top of the ladder at this level play out, they're over so quickly that you don't get value really from cooldown reduction. You don't really get value from cast on hit because you don't want to be auto-attacking a lot most of the time. You kind of just want one nuke that's going to end the whole thing. So really, when you think about this, yeah, these cards are all absolutely amazing, and they make Condor kind of look meh. But if Condor is the difference between you getting insta-blowing up, or you able to actually get your silence or get your win condition out, then absolutely, it's got to be a better choice, right? Because, as I said, you cannot do anything from the grave. So, would I go to market to buy this card? Probably not. One of the plus sides of this being a 1-star card is that it's going to be really, really easy to farm. You're going to probably get a load of these, and like every card, most of them are going to be crap. I think you're going to really want to look out for something with a high base flea, because even a few points of a percent are going to be quite impactful, and they could be the difference between living and dying. So unless you go to market and you have like a load of spare row points, and you see something with perfect flea that someone's selling cheap because they don't know what they have, I probably wouldn't go out of my way to get this. Of course, if you're a big whale, yeah, the rules don't apply to you. So there you go. But for most of us regular kind of players, I don't think it's going to be worth picking up. I think it's going to be worth basically looking out for the ones you get. If they have nice rolls, you know, put them to one side. Remember they're there, and then one day, you know, when you've got your agility stat up, and you've got a bit of currency to like invest and level these cards up, I think definitely consider 4-slotting your Manto with these. I think you're going to get some pretty nice returns, and I think in a lot of cases this is actually going to give you a big edge in PvP fights. I'd love to hear, especially if you're an SEA player, tell me if I'm right here, tell me if I'm wrong, by all means, please do. And let me know, because I think this is going to be, I think Flea in general is going to be pretty meta as we get kind of later into the game. There are kind of other ways you can win PvP matches. A couple of SEA players have shared a few tips with me. I'm going to do a specific video on this soon. It's quite interesting actually what they do, but no spoilers just yet. But yeah, I think that's basically all you can say. I mean, there's not a lot on this card, so this video is going to be a couple minutes shorter than the others, but I hope it gives you a good idea of what to actually look out for. You know, don't just dust this card. If it's got a good roll on the Flea, maybe keep this. Maybe we'll definitely keep this. And consider now at this this point in the game, you know, if you've been playing for a few weeks since it's been out, consider maybe thinking, well, maybe, you know, I'm going to have to put a different build together for PvP. And I think if you're really serious about climbing the ladder, that is something you're going to have to do. Because I've already noticed that about 70% of the stuff that I use on my kind of PvE pushing build or my farming builds, it's not going to work in PvP. And I'm going to have to actually think, put a bit of thought into it. And I'm going to have to invest in cards like Condor, stuff that normally I wouldn't touch. And you probably are as well. So I hope this has been helpful. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think as always. If you do like the content, please do give me a subscribe. It always helps the channel. Thank you very much for watching. Fruit Guru out. Bye.